Hi, boys and girls. Welcome back to the Horace Mann Library. I know many friends are disappointed this week not to be here in person in the library to listen to stories and to check out books. It is really hard to hope for something and then to be disappointed. But I have to tell you that during times like this, I turn to stories for comfort. You know, that favorite book that you read over and over again. Maybe even it's a book that you read at bedtime to give you comfort at the end of a busy day. And for me and my family, that book that we would turn to over and over again for comfort at the end of the day is Goodnight Moon. Do you know the story? It's by Margaret Wise Brown, and the pictures are by Clement Hurd. So it was really surprising this week when second grader Amos and fourth grader Evelyn's family brought in a quilt to share that their grandmother made that shows the story of Goodnight Moon with fabric in the most detailed and amazing story quilt I have ever seen. So we are really in for a treat this week, boys and girls, as we listen and watch Goodnight Moon by Margaret Wise Brown. Goodnight Moon by Margaret Wise Brown. Story Quilt by Maureen D'Agostino. And boys and girls, let's just take in the room as we hear the story. In the great green room, there was a telephone and a red balloon and a picture of the cow jumping over the moon. And there were 3 little bears sitting on chairs, and 2 little kittens, and a pair of mittens, and a little toy house, and a young mouse, and a comb, and a brush, and a bowl full of mush, and a quiet old lady who was whispering, "Hush." Good night, room. Good night, moon. Good night, cow jumping over the moon. Good night, light and the red balloon. Good night, bears. Good night, chairs. Good night, kittens, and good night, mittens. Good night, clocks, and good night, socks. Good night, little house, and good night, mouse. Good night, comb. Good night, brush. Good night, nobody. Good night, mush. And good night to the old lady whispering, hush. Good night, stars. Good night, air. Good night, noises everywhere. Did you see all the details in the quilt? Let's zoom in and take a closer look at the amazing bits of this story. There are those kittens and mittens. And the dear old lady whispering, hush. There's the moon and the stars. What an amazing fireplace. Those flames look real. There's wood nearby. The comb and the bunny brush and the bowl full of mush. And the clock and the telephone and that bunny all tucked in. With slippers nearby. Thank you to the D'Agostino family for sharing this beautiful family quilt with us. It is just the comfort and the kindness and the sharing we needed this week. I'll see you next week. Bye.